Hi, and welcome to More Than Warriors Weekly Check-In. So, just to remind you why we do this, just to check in with someone from our community, a man from our community. Today we've got Vincent, who's been very kind to just literally get home from work and spend a bit of time with us. So the questions is really how things are going for Vincent. Is there something that he feels is going really well, something that he's excited about? A challenge that he has. I think it's useful for us as men to be able to share the challenges that we do have without going into too much depth about it, but just to check in with someone from our community, and then we'll share that obviously with you guys. So thanks Vincent rather for joining us. Did you want to just give us a quick background about you?
Sure. Vincent Cummins is my name. I'm in a family with my wife and 3 young boys. We live here in Currumbin. I'm from Ireland originally, here now 14 years. I work as a carpenter for a building contractor here on the Gold Coast for the last 14 years since I came here, and just enjoying life in Australia.
Awesome. If anyone needs any good quality carpentry, Vincent is the man. He's an amazing carpenter.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's a pleasure. So the first question, it's a simple one.
Yes.
But often is a tricky one. So how are you feeling today? And just a reminder that the answer can't be good or fine, because that's the weather.
Look, I'm feeling like I'm on top of things. And I'm feeling that what I set about each day is actually happening.
Awesome.
So in that sense, I have a sense of satisfaction.
Awesome.
There are aspects that will need more of my attention, but in general, my tasks are all feeling like they're being complete each day, and today in particular. So I'm coming home now to my family, and there'll be tasks there that I'll have to address as well, but I pretty much know what's going to happen. And I'm comfortable that I'm on top of those as well.
Awesome. So comfort and peace and a calmness almost.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there something in your life at the moment, or a couple of things that you're feeling excited about?
Yes. I'm excited about myself in particular, in the experience that I've been having, because you and I chatted there some weeks ago about sleep, and I'm getting far better sleep since Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about how that's impacting on my daily life.
I was going to ask you, so what impact? Because that's something that I'm sure many men would struggle with.
It's really straightforward. It's basic lack of tiredness. Fatigue is nearly gone. Filling out a full day's work and evening with family with ease.
Wow.
And it's a huge difference to my temperament.
Yeah.
And to how I actually perceive what's going on, and to how I address things. And that's very exciting for me, that finally I feel that I actually have control of how I behave in this world.
Wow.
Towards my close family friends, towards my work colleagues who I work with intensely, and in the broader community. The broader community is still kind of questionable. I'm still checking on that. But for me, the important part is my family and my work colleagues that I spend most of my time with.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's had a massive impact.
Massive impact, and I can't I could go into the details. The details are, it's energy, it's lack of stress, it's lack of anxiety, it's lack of fear. All have dissipated to a level that you can observe them, see them, and deal with them.
Awesome.
And that's literally from just getting a decent, good quality night's sleep.
Wow. So we might even get you back on to talk more in depth about that.
So that's something I'm very excited about.
Awesome.
I'm very excited about what I'm experiencing there.
I bet. Now, is there something that you're finding a challenge at the moment?
Yes. And I guess this is quite personal, but the biggest challenge for me is my relationship with my wife. There's a certain amount of excitement in that as well, because we're talking about it and working through it.
Yeah.
But it's really tricky, and because she's such an important individual in my life, and because she's such an important individual in my life, I need to get it right and make more of an effort. But the sense of being in a habit is a little bit overwhelming. So, and that's frustrating to see sometimes, the clarity that I get with the sleep, and then the habit clicking into gear. So that is challenging for me, and it's taken quite an effort, and it's exposing me to a lot of my own personality and who I think I am.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, you touch on something that I think is true for so many men. You know, relationship is tricky.
It's tricky.
If we're honest with ourselves, it's probably one of the hardest things we do.
I believe it is.
You know, we can often find a lot of ease in our work, but it's the relationships.
Yeah.
So, you know, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I appreciate it. So is there something that you're looking at, you know, I guess a big part of what we're trying to do here is people's personal growth. So is there some way that you're growing, or it's something that you're learning at the moment that is having an impact?
Well, what I had started just this side of Christmas with my 7-year-old son, he started just before Christmas, was jiu-jitsu.
Oh, wow.
And I did some Aikido in Ireland about 16 or 17 years ago. I did it for about 6 months with a contractor, an Austrian contractor I used to work with. He was the sensei. And I really enjoyed that. And I'd always wanted to get into something here since I came, but never really found anything. So we started in this club, and I was enjoying it. I was enjoying going with him and the experience of being there with him. And watching him do his session, and he would wait and I do my session after. But then I knew there were Brazilians and Japanese running the show and operating, really pleasant, really lovely to deal with. But then this Australian guy took over as the main teacher, and he was just phenomenal. Awesome. I couldn't believe how simple he made it, the language he used, and how he used the language, and how interactive he was. For me, it just made so clear to me what I needed to do. And it became like a whole new thing for me. I was practicing with people who had been going 3 and 4 years, and even they couldn't believe how quickly they were learning, getting more clarity on the whole activity, just by the way he would use his words and use his sentences.
So it sounds like that's pretty fulfilling.
Very. I had 4 sessions with him, and then the coronavirus clicked into gear.
Oh no.
So my approach had totally changed.
Yeah.
I was so excited going to it, and I was feeling a growth and a different sense of myself there. And even a different sense of myself in the practice with the other practitioners. Wow.
So it sounds like a whole other level.
Yes, it was a totally different deal. I said to my wife after my first session, I said, this is a completely different deal now. I'm going to a completely different club. It's a whole new experience for me.
Wow.
I can't wait to go back again.
Wow.
So I wouldn't mind getting back into that.
I think, you know, we're all looking forward to those things that we can get back to.
Yeah. So, that's one I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I can feel that. It feels like it's energizing. And lastly, the last question is, do you have some kind of practice? You know, when the stresses of daily life and the world gets to you, is there some kind of practice that brings you back to a centered, grounded, present place?
Yeah, over the years I've done some meditation and I've done some yoga, and I always found that they were very time consuming. For me personally, the individual that I am and how I manage time. And with 3 young boys and the commitment of family, I just found I couldn't do the half hour in the morning, the half hour in the evening. So I decided that a lot of these things, quite a while ago, that a lot of these things don't necessarily have to be as laborious and time consuming. And that if I could attend to any of these activities in a more lighter frame of mind rather than seeing it as a chore, that I may get some more benefit of it.
Right.
And I convinced myself that 4 to 5 minutes should be sufficient. So with that in mind, I set about just doing a basic section of the sun salutation. And a few press-ups, 10 press-ups, and a little bit of neck movement, because I had some car accidents. I used to have some issues with my neck, and it was like 1 minute for the neck exercise. And if I attend to that every night only, I'm so balanced, my sleep is so good.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. But it's also phenomenal how even that 4.5 minutes I can't attend to sometimes.
Sure.
But if I feel myself going wayward,
yeah,
or need to be regrounded, as your question suggests, all I got to do is do 3 or 4 nights of that, and I'm right back.
Brings you back
to to just feeling whole again.
Awesome. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing that. And part of the reason for doing these check-ins is hopefully that you might hear something that resonates with you, and just men sharing stories with each other and sharing a little bit about themselves. So thanks again, Vincent.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that.
Happy to be here.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.